All right, let's cut the crap. It's 2025 and there are still guys falling for the pills, magic creams, and gain 1 inch a week scams. But you're not here for that. You're here to actually know what works and what's total bullshit when it comes to enlargement and male enhancement. So I'm gonna break it down, backed by research, backed by experience, and no fluff. So here's the enlargement pyramid, starting with what works and ending with what's a total scam. So first of all, traction, also known as extenders, it absolutely works. There are peer-reviewed studies and there are plenty of user data. Again, we're not talking about overnight results, but 6 months of consistent use and you are going to see permanent length increase. Traction causes micro tears to the tunica, your body heals in return, and boom, you have growth. Second on the list are pumps. Now, unlike extenders, pumps actually offer immediate results. So when you use the pump, you're actually going to be thicker temporarily, and if you decide to have an intercourse right after using the pump, she is gonna feel you being thicker. However, there has been a recent study as well from Hink where they used pumps and manual stretching, and they actually managed to gain both girth and length from using pumps. Also, pumps are generally a healthy thing you can do for your D, especially if you are becoming older, just in order for you to keep the blood flow going. Think of it as gym or as brushing your teeth for your D. It's something that you should do frequently to keep the blood flow going down there. Number 3 on the list, and that is Jelking. Jelking is ancient, popular, and very risky if done wrong. Trust me, I get it. You want it free. But remember that you are 1 jelk away from bursting a blood vessel and ending up in the ER room. And 4th on the list is pills and creams. You probably know the answer. If there was a pill that would make your D bigger, Big Pharma would have sold it for billions by now. This simply does not exist, so do not waste your money. Now, here's the truth. Most guys fail at enlargement, not because enlargement doesn't work, but because they don't. They either give up after 2 weeks, they don't track their progress, or they keep switching routines like they're changing boxers. Now, you really gotta understand that discipline is way more important than the device you use. You can have the most expensive device on the market, but if it's sitting in your drawer, guess what? Your isn't growing. And that's why I made the PE Trainer app to track, stay consistent, and see great results. At the end of the day, it's a journey and it's not a magic trick that is going to make your D bigger overnight. Now, I know that you want size and you want the wow effect, but let's not ignore erection quality, control, and confidence. Because you know what kills sex faster than a small D? It's a limp one, a premature one, or a guy that is insecure about what he's packing. And on the other hand, do you know what's memorable in bed? It is proper blood flow and erection quality, stamina, and confidence. Because remember that size gets attention, but performance, it gets remembered. Now, here's a daily routine that is going to guarantee you results. First of all, before you start anything, start with manual stretches. You basically grip your D right below your gland and you stretch it to different sides. You're immediately going to notice that your flaccid hang is already much longer. After that, I recommend you to use Epic Extender along with the PE Trainer app to stretch for at least an hour per day, preferably 2 hours. And make sure to track everything on the app, especially the bone press flaccid stretched length before you start the stretching and after. This is going to be a crucial indicator to know if you're stretching hard enough and long enough, and to determine if you're going to see results over time. Ideally, you want to see an increase of 3 to 5% of the length of your stretch D before stretching and after stretching. Now, don't worry about it because the app is going to tell you if you're stretching well enough or not. All you have to do is just measure your D before and after stretching. And once you're done with that, I would highly recommend you to use a pump and to do a 15-minute session of interval pumping. You can use whatever pump you want to use. However, I recommend you to use the Epic pump because it works with air, it works with water. It has an insert silicone sleeve that makes the whole experience 10 times more comfortable. And on top of this, it has a digital gauge that allows you to track exactly how much tension you're applying on your D so that you stay safe. Now, regarding supplements, the best you can do for your D, for your erections, for your nitric oxide is L-arginine and L-citrulline combined. Again, if you want an all-in-one supplement, I've already created the Epic Bone supplements that has both L-arginine, L-citrulline, maca root, and a bunch of other stuff that is going to keep your erections healthy and strong. And by the way, everything I mentioned is going to be linked in the description of this video below and in the comment section. Now, before you start, I really cannot stress this enough that you are enough the way you are. And you're able to pleasure any woman if you know how to perform right in bed. Enlargement is not about changing yourself or becoming somebody else. It's about becoming a better you. So all I want you to know is that growth is actually possible, but it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen by itself, and it's not going to happen while you're just sitting and scrolling TikTok. Well, unless you are scrolling TikTok while stretching your D at the same time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.